Brooklyn Independent Television.
She is a multifaceted, spirited force of nature. Although originally from Syracuse, this LA transplant's migrated back to her East Coast roots. Bed-Stuy is now home, and it serves as the backdrop for her life soundtrack.
My name is Kim Hill, and I am a singer, songwriter, musician, artist, foodie. I played for years. I played classical violin and piano, and always wrote music and, charted it and things like that. And professionally, I think that I'm very grateful that the things I'm very passionate about are also the things that I'm gifted with. So I'm gifted with everything from my music to syncopation, rhythm. Dancing was very easy for me, and I thought I'd be in the dance theater of Harlem until I realized, what it does to your feet. And so then I really opened myself up to the music. I was involved with the Black Eyed Peas from 1995 until the end of 2000. My association with Black Eyed Peas is, I had a hiccup in my career where I really I didn't want to be affiliated. I didn't want, to answer the questions. I've come to really embrace it because I have to always remember that if it wasn't for the Black Eyed Peas, we may not be having this conversation. I don't feel that I owe my recognition to them, but I do to some extent. I feel like that if I hadn't gotten in the Black Eyed Peas, that wouldn't have stopped me from my path, because that's something that God already has open for you if you're willing to embrace it. I do feel like what I learned and honed as a result of being in that environment, when I was in that environment, has just been life-changing. I feel like having been in the Black Eyed Peas when I was, the reason people are still interested in me is not just because the band changed so much around the time that I transitioned out of the group, but we were really a part of that last era of hip-hop, that Native Tongues era. I mean, we toured with De La and Tribe, and that's really when hip-hop was still hip-hop. Hip-hop is something completely different now. I almost say to people, yeah, that's what the young kids do now. It doesn't have the lyrical content and foundation. Okay, so a daily ritual for Cassius and I is once we get up and try to make our way to the park on Washington and Lafayette, which is a great park. And from there, we go to Choice, which is also on Lafayette. It's a great place to take kids, a great place to just have lunch with friends, and it's just awesome. En route to, drumroll please, Doe. And if you don't know, now you know that Doe is just, it's like, floating cloud of heaven. Yeah, in Bed-Stuy. It is something I indulge in, and I just don't ever intend on feeling guilty about it. What brought me to Bed-Stuy, I feel like after so many years, I lived in Los Angeles for 18 years, and I was away from my family, and missing those moments of seeing my nieces and nephews evolve and develop and have opinions. And when I had Cassius, I just knew that it was time to get close to home. I knew that what I wanted to do with respect to raising him and being his mother, I needed the assistance of my tribe. I got started in music because my grandmother wanted for my sister and I to be black violinists. She chose violin for us, and we just thought it was the corniest, worst thing ever. I see where she was going, My music theory really came from classical music and strings. Chip Fields, I definitely have to give her a shout out. Yes, Chip Fields from the Burnt Penny with the Iron on Good Times, Chip Fields. He got me on Living Single, and I got tafted into SAG on a 5 lines or less contract. How I met the Black Eyed Peas was my neighbors across the street. They were managing the Black Eyed Peas and asked me if I would work with them. And back then everybody had a group, everybody was managing, everybody was rhyming and singing, and all of us wanted to be, Jade and SWV. But I ended up at a BMI showcase with them. You know, we met and immediately clicked and started writing together, and that was really my introduction to the band. And how we came to start making those records that got us the first deal on Interscope, which ultimately led to my first deal too.
Time is on my side and by your side along with me.
I am still making music, and I do still consider myself a singer. It meant everything to me years ago. I mean, everything. And it just changed. Just kind of wrapped a film recently with a wonderful director, Nefertiti and Guru. The movie In the Morning is about a group of friends, kind of centered around 3 women and their lives in Brooklyn. It's about relationships and lack thereof, a lot of things that women are judged for, and, you know, leaving Brooklyn. Like, who would want to leave Brooklyn, you know? I used to kind of feel that my art was very linear, like, okay, well, I can only do music. I don't want to be one of those people that, you know, has a record out and then it's like all of a sudden I'm in 5 films. Now it's like, yeah, yes, please, hire me. I'll act, I'll draw, I'll do graffiti. You know, just allowing myself to really come full circle with all of the things that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at breakartsmedia.org/BIT.